So welcome to the TrueX library today. We're going to be searching with the computer catalog. Here we have two stations set up that students can search when they come into the library, and there's generally staff here to help you. So we're going to do a search today using our database search, not our books search, because we're searching for recent information, and so the databases have more options for recent information. So here we have our search guide at the library webpage. And we're going to be using today our database search, like I said, and we're going to go down to databases by subject. Okay, so here we are at the starting point databases for all-purpose searches. And we're going to the Academic Search Complete by EBSCO. So we're going to click on that database, and here in the first line, we're going to start typing in our search terms, which is baby name. And we don't want just baby names, but we also kind of want baby name trends. So we're going to go with this heading that the computer popped up for us. And then we're just going to do a first search and see what we get. So I click on search, and you can see we have 55 items that come up in the search. And over here, if we feel like 55 is kind of a lot to look through, we can see, well, what might I do to narrow down my searches a little bit and make it not quite so many to look through. And I'm thinking one way is we don't really want baby name trends that are really old. So these are from 1990 to 2021. So we're going to actually go and move this slider until it gets to at least 2000, let's say. So we only want baby name trends in the last 20 years. So we're going to go here, and now we have 51 baby names, which is still maybe a little bit too many. And so we can look at, well, I really only want my language that the article is in to be in English. And I'm also, so that takes it down to 28, which is good. And I also really want baby name trends from, and I'm going here to geography, and I want it to stay in the US. I don't really want to know baby name trends from abroad. So now we only have 7, which is a much more reasonable amount of information to look through. So we have these 7 names or these 7 articles about baby names. And if we want to look into them a little bit to see what they're about, we just click on the article. Hurricane dealt blow to popularity of Katrina as a baby name. That's kind of interesting. And so if we click on that to see what it's about, we come to the article, and we also come here to something called the abstract. And the abstract tells us this is basically what this article was about, and maybe what the findings were, and that's where you decide, oh, okay, this is an interesting thing for me to read. I'll want to know more about this. And so that is how you decide if it's an article you want to look at. You can go back to your results list if you don't really want to know that much about the baby name Katrina, and maybe you want something more general, like, hey, biggest names of the year, even though it's 2000. It still might be interesting. Or you could see down here, oh, what's in a name? I kind of like that. Like, what does it mean? What is it about, kind of thing. And then you can click on that. Again, you look for the abstract here to see what the article is about. If this is an article we have in the library, you'll be able to click on the full text access here. If it's not one that we have in the library, you can request this item through interlibrary loan. So let's go back and see in the results list if we can find one that we actually have the full text of. So we'll look at Goodbye to George and John. And again, this is a request through interlibrary loan. Let's go back to Goodnight Grace and Julia. And again, this one is a request through interlibrary loan as well. But we have the article information there. Let's see if we go back to our results list and make our publication date a little more broad, or maybe make our search a little more broad and take off trends. Just baby names, just search baby names for me. But also I want to do boys. Boys, and let's see, boys or males. Okay, and let's see what that brings us. Now we have 189, so taking trends off changed that search a lot. And you can see there's a couple here that say HTML full text, and then you can see right away, oh, these are ones I can read right now. But we can also do this, limit to full text, and just show me the ones that are full text. Okay, and now we've got a few less. And then since we have quite a few now, we can say, okay, let's also limit this publication date back to where we wanted it, more maybe like 2010, and see what we get. And now we still have 66. So let's make sure our other limiters are still on. We're only going to do English, and we're going to also do the US. Maybe it's already turned on. So let's go to this one, the 30 most popular baby names that are also foods. That's interesting. So now we're going to click on that. And if we want to read the full text article, if it sounds interesting, you can see it right here. You can click the link here. You can click the HTML full text right here. And then you can read that article. This one actually will be read to you if you would like. And that is what a search looks like. If I was doing a paper and I wanted to save this, there are items on this side of the screen, on the right-hand side of the screen, that will allow me to email this information to myself, or print it, or add it to my OneDrive. Here's where I'll put in my email. To have that go to me, I would put in my Madison College email in that spot. And then over here, if I needed the citation, I would click and choose the type of citation I needed. Maybe it's APA, maybe it's MLA. And then when I have my email here and I click send, it's going to send that article to me. It's going to include the citation, and then I can use it in my paper if it turns out to be information that I liked. And that is a basic search of the databases in the TrueX library catalog.